excited to have you on board. So you go ahead. This is your show, and we're just guests in it.
All right. So happy almost Mother's Day, by the way.
Thank you.
So yeah, I thought it'd be fun to have like a little question, like Q&A with you two, and just kind of like a get to know you both through, you know, mom and daughter experience. So
Our Wi-Fi might be a little glitchy, maybe.
Oh no.
There you go. We were a little glitchy there.
Yes. Okay. Cool. All right. So I was saying there's questions for both of you. So I'll ask Lexie first and then Lydia next.
Okay.
Okay. So Lexie, what is your favorite thing about your mom?
There's so many. I really, you know, I love that she's a go-getter, that she works so hard, that she's got like a really big heart.
Mm-hmm.
I love that she's like, you know, super supportive. I like that she's like daring and like willing to try, you know, like anything, and then she's like super persistent. Like when she wants something, she goes for it.
Very true.
Thank you.
And Lydia, what is your favorite thing about Lexie?
Her adventure, her spirit of adventure, her sense, well, it's a few things, right? So it's her sense of adventure, her honesty, her pursuit of excellence and being the best, and not giving up. So I guess on one level we mirror each other a lot. So that's really you know, it's like with anybody. If you're with somebody for a period of time, you tend to mirror each other. So hopefully you're mirroring the best of each other, right?
Yeah, that's beautiful. Very true too.
So, yeah. I love you, Lex.
So, Lexie, what is your favorite thing about being Lydia's daughter?
I think my favorite thing is just like the support and love that like my mom has always been like, you can do it, you got this. I also love like, yeah, I mean, there's just something fun about like, I feel like I could tell her anything and she'd be like, okay, like that's like, I support you 100%.
Yeah.
So I feel like that is that's nice. And then I'm trying to think of what else. I mean, I also like that, you know, the best part I think too about I think that's, to me, it's just the unconditional love. Like that's.
Well, I think every mother should have unconditional love for her children.
Yeah.
You know, I think that is, we are the ones that nurture.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you see, I always look at it this way. If I see grown-ups that are out of sorts or that are miserable, I always think, did they have somebody as, you know, a role model to guide them through the difficult times? Because I just think that as a parent, your job is to teach your child to be the best in whatever they do and to strive for the best. You know, that it is important. We actually, Alexia discovered this earlier this week, and I've taken it on as my own. But there's something called the Golem and Pygmalion effect. That the Golem effect is, if you are around people that don't believe in you and don't think you can, you won't. You know that, but the Pygmalion effect is, if you are around people who not only believe in you, but see you doing greater than you are, then you tend to climb up to how people perceive you. So either effect works. So you have to choose which effect you're gonna hang out with, you know. And for me, I take the role of parenting really serious, you know. Like, I believe God gave me Alexia, and my job is to be the best steward I can with her. And even though she's a grown woman now, I'll always be her mom, you know, and I'll always be looking out for her. And I just think that's our job. So it's not, you know, it's, I take it serious, you know, just like I take it seriously with you guys. You guys become my children when you're in my company, whether you like it or not. You know, I consider you my family. So, you know, and if I have to, I take out the pow stick. That's all there is.
You do. You do.
Sometimes you gotta get the pow stick, but it don't mean I don't love you.
Of course. So would you say that's your favorite thing about being a mom, is really taking on that role? And or what would your favorite thing be?
I think as a mom, I'm always learning.
Okay.
So for me, I don't know that I have a favorite thing, but I am grateful that it grows me every day. I learn every day. You know, it's like, if you don't have children, you don't really understand what it is to have that unconditional love. I think the closest you come to it is having an animal that you care for. But as a mother, something kicks in that makes you protective of your child, that makes you want to see your child prosper and be successful. And I just think that, you know, for me, that's sacred. It's just a sacred thing. I don't know that it's a favorite thing, but it's sacred. So I don't play with that. You know, I don't play with God in that way, because I don't want the pow stick.
Good. It's good. All right. How do you guys spend quality time with each other?
I mean, we watch we watch movies, we get food. We just watched a really good movie called The Mole Agent.
Excellent.
It's really good. It's like this Chilean documentary that's about this. It's like, it's a documentary, but it doesn't feel like a documentary, but it is a documentary. It's about this like 85-year-old guy who ends up he
goes undercover
into
a retirement home, and he's lacking technology skills, and they've given him these technology tools like glasses, a little pen,
like that have cameras in them, like secret cameras.
Fantastic.
But he doesn't know how to use it, and he's like taking like covert calls, like in the public, like in the
loud.
He's like, I can't find it.
So is it like a comedy almost? Like it's almost comedy, or what?
It gets funny.
Yeah, it gets funny, and it's also also sad, because it's like he really takes like, he's only supposed to focus on like one woman in the retirement home just to make sure that she's not getting abused, but he has everybody.
But we won't tell you anymore, because you should see it. And it is on Hulu. On Hulu. It's on Hulu.
It's called
We didn't get paid for the ad, but you should see it.
Okay. Good to know. All right, so movies and food. That's great. That's definitely.
And we also have our little ritual. We try to find a new restaurant once a month to go to. Right. We do a lot together, especially during this pandemic. It's just the two of us here.
Yeah. What's the best restaurant you found during the pandemic?
Actually, we found some Italian places that were exquisite. Yeah, there's one in Brentwood. There's one in Hollywood that we found.
And the one in Hollywood we passed so many times.
Yeah, a Marino. We drive by that. It's on Melrose. We drive by it all the time, and they have excellent Italian food.
Yeah.
And then we found a place in Brentwood, right where San Vicente meets, right around where San Vicente and Wilshire meet. Fantastic food.
Really good food.
So the good thing about the pandemic is that we've still been able to try restaurants, just takeout, you know. And we've also found out, well, at least I think I found out, is not every restaurant do their food transfer to takeout. You know, that I think they're probably better in the restaurant, but when you take it home, it's not good. Like we found a place in Pasadena, Italian, not good when we brought it home. But they had the best coconut cake. Best coconut cake.
That sounds so good.
Yes. So we do a lot of life around food,
Yeah.
and around learning.
I got my mom, unfortunately, addicted to Korean dramas.
I know
And
that.
I do Korean dramas.
I imagine that would be part of your answer.
Yes, we started together, and then I cheated, and I just went on my own.
Yeah, now she just watches them by herself.
I watch them, but they're my drug of choice.
It's okay because I have a lot of like German and shows that I like to watch by myself.
Okay,
yeah.
Good. Yeah, I miss coming into work and Lydia just being like overjoyed. I watched the best Korean drama last night.
Yeah, she'll binge watch it. She'll watch all like 16 episodes in like the course of 2 nights or one night if it's really good.
Yeah,
You know what?
I have not slept to complete a show. Like, oh, I gotta watch the last episode.
That's commitment.
And
That's
a little
you know
punch
it's good. What's that?
Yeah. And I said binge watch it and then be a little punch drunk and have to work afterwards, you know,
Right.
like but so satisfied that I finished that program.
Proud of you.
Yes.
All right. So, what is your favorite memory together? And you can answer either together or separately.
We can do it separately.
You go right ahead.
Do you want to go first?
No,
or should I
you go ahead.
I guess I'll do a silly memory, not necessarily. I mean, I have a lot of good memories. But one time my mom fell in love with a bookshelf, but it was like 5 blocks down from where we live, and she wanted to buy it, but it wouldn't fit in our car.
No,
So
I bought it.
She bought it, but then it didn't fit in the car. So then she was like, I have to have it though. So we carried it the 5 blocks down all the way to the apartment. And it was a heavy bookshelf. It was a 2-person job. Like, it wasn't a thin thing. It was very heavy.
That is so funny.
Yeah, then we had to walk back to the car because we had left the car parked 5 blocks away. We had to walk over to get it.
No.
Which was, you know,
Yeah.
I tormented my child when she was little. A lot.
Yeah. And then there also was another time where we my mom and her friends wanted to get into they wanted to go into like this theater to get information about renting a theater. And we so there was no one in the building to get in, so my mom's friend talked to like the workmen and was like, hey, we need to get in the building to ask these people, because it basically was they have the theater and then they have like the offices to the theater upstairs. So she was like, we got to drop off this thing to the theater, so a packet. So these construction men were like, oh, okay, we'll open the door for you guys so you guys can go up and drop off the packet. So we're like, thank you. So we end up going
except they locked the door behind them and we were locked in the building.
And then it was like, are we gonna call the police? Like, what are we gonna do? Because like it didn't look like anyone was coming back for a really long time. And
so I was prepared to call the fire department. I was like, well, we will call the fire department. They will get us out.
I was like, we're not even supposed to be here. And you know, like
they were just gone.
What?
Everyone
was gone.
Oh
From the office, and it didn't look like didn't look like signs of life, like anyone was coming back. So I was like, we're not even supposed to be here. Luckily, when we went back down, we saw one of the construction workers and we started banging on like the door, being like, hey, and then they opened it.
So how long were you stuck in there?
About a half an hour.
Yeah.
Oh my
God. We were in there about a half an hour.
That's kind of long.
But we left the package. We left the package. Yeah. So that was all right. My child is telling you favorite memories that actually traumatized her.
No, they're good. They're memories I look back and I laugh.
Another traumatizing / favorite memory is I was doing my 1-person show in New York, and the person who was doing tech and sound decided they weren't coming. Oh. But they didn't tell me that till like 15 minutes before the show.
Wow.
And Alexia was 10 years old. And I said, well, you are going to have to do it. And I said, you know, the show is not a big deal. Just press those buttons. And she had to do tech for my show that day. And then the next day I was able to find another person. But yeah, that's not, I don't know if it's one of my favorite memories, but it definitely was a memory that is etched in my brain.
I only missed I only missed 2 cues.
Yeah, but it didn't matter. She did a phenomenal job. She did a phenomenal job and got me through crunch, because I wouldn't have been able to go on.
Because I remember one time she has like specific, in that particular theater, she had specific lighting when she was like doing prayers and stuff. And at one point but it's like you have to like kind of flick in between like the main lights and then the prayer lights. Yeah. And at one point I had lost where the prayer light was, and she's like,
shut us down.
Yeah, I shut all the lights down, and she goes, God, are you there? Are you there, God? And I'm like,
but she did it. She pulled it out. It was fun. That's right. You gotta be able to improv. That's it. That's it. You know.
Oh my God. I would have loved to see that. That's awesome. I love it. All right, cool. So what is the most valuable thing you learned about you've learned from being a daughter, Lexie?
That you have a good mom.
Yeah. The most valuable thing that I've learned from being a daughter. Yeah, I guess that I'm very, you know, I know that, you know, not everyone is like super lucky enough to have like a mom that's like super supportive, and, you know, and I'm just really grateful for her. And I think that's what I've like learned.
And what's the most valuable thing you've learned from being a mom?
Oh, that I have the best daughter. That's, you know, I have the best daughter, and yeah, that she grows me. So yeah.
Very sweet. Oh. Lexie, what about your mom are you most proud of?
I'm most proud of, like, honestly, just how she goes after her dreams. And, you know, it's just like she's you know, like I feel like with her I've learned like not to put any excuses on myself, because like she'll wake up at like 4:30 to get in some of her like stuff like really early before she has to get to work. And so it's just like I'm really proud about just how she goes about it. And you know, I'm proud of, like, you know, she's constantly learning, which I think is a cool thing, and I think is under like, I think as like sometimes people they don't like change, and so I think that that's really cool that she's always trying to like take, you know, classes and take, you know, just anytime. Like, I mean, yeah, sometimes I'll see her and I'll be like, what are you listening to? And it's always, yeah, so that's definitely one of my favorite things. She's constantly committed to growth.
Well, thank you. So are you.
Yeah.
And what are you most proud of of Lexie?
That no matter what, she keeps getting back up. No matter what the challenges are, she keeps getting back up. That, you know, and that she's learning to master her emotions and not let her emotions master her. So that is something I'm very proud of, because as artists, just in general, as artists, we tend to get stuck in the emotion of life. You know, we are emotional creatures, so that we're addicted to emotions. But to be a really great artist, you have to be able to control your emotions, manipulate them if necessary, in order to give the best performances. You know, as a comic, sometimes you have to go on stage and you don't feel funny. And so what are you going to do? Let the feeling dictate the performance? No, you got to deliver the goods. Right. And I learned that as a teenager, I went to go see James Earl Jones in the role of Paul Robeson on Broadway, and it was snowing that day. Everything got shut down. We were in the middle of a snowstorm, but the show was still happening.
Mm-hmm.
So me and my friend Leslie Thurston, we walked all the way downtown to 40 something street to go to the theater and watch this show.
Mm-hmm.
And this man, James Earl Jones, got on stage and acted like it was a full house. And if there were 50 people in that theater, that was a lot. Wow. And he just delivered the goods. And that moment shifted me. It changed my perspective of, you do your best no matter how many people are in the audience, no matter what's going on, you deliver the goods. And his commitment and his ethics, his work ethic really shifted me. So when I started doing stand-up, or was doing stand-up as a regular at the Comedy Store, and there were times we only had 2 people in the audience. There were more comics than there were paid customers. Mm-hmm. And it was like, no, they get the show because they showed up. And when I went to New York a few years ago to do my one-person show, for the first 2 weeks, I called it Theater for Two. It literally every night was only 2 people in the audience, and they looked like they wanted to run out quickly. And I would go, nope, you're going to get the best show I got today. Yeah. And so it is that. It's just really important. That's just a real important thing as an artist, to be able to deliver no matter what your feelings dictate, no matter what your thoughts dictate, but to put both aside and go, no, the best. I got to do the best. And so I'm proud of her for learning how to not only do it, but to execute it.
Awesome. Yeah, that is a
your James Earl Jones story kind of reminded me of the Joe DiMaggio. Like there's like this story about Joe DiMaggio where
the baseball player,
the baseball player
who was married to Marilyn Monroe first, or not first. Okay.
But Joe DiMaggio, he was asked one time because he was playing hard in like a scrimmage, and they were like, "This game doesn't even count. Like, why are you working so hard? Like everyone else knows. Like, just go easy." Mm-hmm. And he said, because there's some kid that's watching me that, you know, he's never seen me play before, and I want something that he can like brag to his friends about. So I got to go all out every time because there's some kid that needs that moment. And I thought that was really sweet and really like, oh, you know, so he's always like, every game I always go out. Like,
that's cool.
That's an excellent example too.
Yeah, I love that. Aww. Okay. What makes you, sorry. All right. Lexie, what makes your mom most happy?
Korean soaps. Korean soaps, chicharron, and probably like some like an Arnold Palmer that's made like perfectly with a lot of lemons and a lot of sugar. And but yeah, mostly K-dramas, anything that stars Gung Yu.
Well, no, now I have a lot of other favorites.
So now she's got other favorites.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, but I do love Korean dramas, and I do love chicharrones, and I do love now it's lemonade, not so much Arnold Palmer, because I find the tea kind of doesn't let me sleep at night. If I have caffeine, doesn't let me sleep at night. So
yeah, and she also loves custard pie.
Oh, okay, that sounds good.
Yes.
Yum.
And I love, and one other thing that I love is having art discussions, you know, talking about the craft. I love that. I love sharing.
And she loves learning new, really good, juicy new bits of information.
Yeah.
It gets her very excited. Not like gossip, like, you know,
Oh
like
yeah, no,
not like a gossip, but like technical knowledge of like,
Right.
you know, like she just started a merchandise thing, and she was really excited to learn how to make it and use like Canva and stuff like that.
Yeah, Canva's my love right now because there's so much that you can do on Canva. It's ridiculous. I love it.
Yeah, Canva is everything for sure.
Yes.
Canva makes me very happy too. All right, and Lydia, what makes your daughter most happy?
What makes my daughter happy? Having money makes her very happy.
I get that.
Doing good shows make her happy. Writing good material makes her happy, and good friends make her happy.
Yeah.
Cool. That's very.
What makes you happy?
What makes me happy?
Yeah, what makes you happy?
Ooh. I love a good walk. Like a nice day, beautiful walk. That makes me so happy. I'm just getting moving. I love dancing. That makes me very happy. Seeing other people happy makes me very happy. Yeah. I'd say that's about it. Oh, and I love chocolate. Chocolate makes me
That's a good choice.
That's a great choice. Yes, and we
girl.
must throw in the beach. I love the beach.
Yeah.
During the pandemic, I think that's the thing I miss most was the beach. We got to do the beach one day earlier this year, and the beach was gone. It had eroded. My favorite beach was gone. We literally had to put our chairs
in
right
the parking lot.
At the parking lot, right by the fence, because the actual beach was gone. The water had just eaten it up. So
wow. And
yeah.
it wasn't just the time of day, like it wasn't.
No, it's gone. It's gone now. Yeah, climate change is a real thing. Yeah, my favorite little beach. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That is.
I also love Lavender Fest.
Oh my God!
Oh
yes. That's the other thing I love. And we're getting our second shot soon, so we'll be able to go to the Lavender Fest, which starts, I believe, at the end of this month. And for those of you people who are in California, Southern California, you should experience the Lavender Festival at least one time in your life. It is down in Cherry Valley, California. It is called the Highland Resort, or the 123 Farm is another name for it. But it is the best thing. We still have to take you, but it is the best. Oh, it's like being in heaven, and just, it's just wonderful. Yeah, really nice. That's my other favorite thing. I have to say that is.
I know when you said lemonade, I thought of the lavender lemonade that you.
Yes, because that's where I got it from. To put fresh lavender flowers into your lemonade, your fresh lemonade. Oh my God, there was nothing like it. It is delicious.
So good, so good.
Yes.
Okay, what is one thing that you would thank your mom for? That you would like to
my life, again, her support. You know, I think in hindsight, I thank her for all the times that she yelled at kids that were bullying me.
Yes, I am that parent that will go to the child and go, "I'm watching you. Don't you do it."
Good.
Yes.
Yes. I also thank my mom for like when I was in college, she worked extra hard so that I could go to London, and that was like one of the best. Like it was just such an amazing experience where I got to like intern at the BBC, and like I know that she made a lot of sacrifices so I could do that internship and like go and experience that. So
nice.
Yeah, but yeah, my life. That's pretty much my life and support and all that stuff.
Thank you.
Beautiful.
But that's what a parent does, Mama. What? Say that again.
what is one thing you'd like to thank Lexie for?
Choosing to be my child, that she chose to come through me as opposed to somebody else. So I get incredible benefits from that.
Sweet. And how do you celebrate each other?
I think there's a lot of different ways that we do that. I think, you know, I constantly, I do say thank you to my mom.
Yes.
Like, especially when, you know, thinking gratitude.
I think that's the big thing. You celebrate people by thanking them, by being grateful, you know, because we, you know, a lot of times we may love people, but that little thank you goes a long way. Yeah. You know, either in just a verbal thank you so much, I really appreciate it. So we're mindful of that. I think it's the little things where we are mindful of those little things that make the big difference. You know, I love you, the hugs, the cheering on, you know, during a difficult task, to say, you got this, you can do this. And in the Korean shows,
fighting,
they go fighting. So we do that with each other. We go fighting. You know, it's like, go, you got this. So we do that a lot. And it's just, you know, it's respecting each other. You celebrate people by respecting each other and helping the other person see their dream. I think that's the best way you celebrate somebody. Yeah. You know, if I really care about you, then I got to care about what you do and who you are. Because that's how I celebrate you. Not through any other way, but to champion your dream with you.
Yeah.
You know, so
beautiful. I like that. You also, I'm going to just speak for you real quick, Lydia. You celebrate people by dancing for them. You throw on a song.
Oh, yes.
And you just,
I love dancing.
When
yes, I
goes
do.
good
I do.
in someone's life, you just
yes. And I will tell you that during the pandemic, I got to dance because my friend Ruthie and I did a lot of Pomodoros. And during our break, we would put on music and start dancing. So yes, you got to dance. You gotta celebrate life. It's again, going back to those little things. You celebrate life, dancing, singing, reading poetry, whatever expression comes out of you, you know, to celebrate that. Because during this pandemic, so many people got mental illnesses or just depression because they felt they were locked in. And instead of, so for us, it wasn't about we were locked in. It was like, okay, great. What can we do in the lab? You know, it's like being in the laboratory. So instead of being sheltered in places, we were like, okay, we're in the lab. Let's do this. Let's.
We acted like it was like an Uber study hall.
Yeah,
right.
Let's do
I feel
this.
Like that was a thing for a lot of creatives, you know.
Yeah, and to get stuff done, and also, you know, we were very fortunate that we could get in the car and just go for a drive. So we couldn't visit people, but we could go for a drive. And sometimes we chose places for pickup deliveries where we had to go maybe 40 minutes so we could have a nice drive.
We tried to go see the poppies, but we went at the wrong time, and there was like one poppy in the field.
We got
We saw three. We saw three.
No, we were able
one
to
over there.
Yeah, we squatted down next to a weed.
We got squatted down next to like a little bed of poppies. It was lovely.
It was three of them. It was three. There was
but we were grateful.
But we were grateful that we were very happy to see the three poppies.
Yes.
Even though it was mostly dirt around us, we were really happy to be in the field.
I have no complaints. I enjoyed it.
That's good.
It was lovely.
No, it was nice. I was just saying.
Yes.
We didn't.
Right.
Yeah.
We enjoyed the drive.
Yes. Yeah. And something I want to say before I forget about Mother's Day this year. There are a lot of mothers, especially those mothers who had their children snatched from them at the border, that haven't had a Mother's Day. And so to me, any mother who has had her child ripped from her is a sin. It is horrible. And those mothers that have lost their children because of gun violence, because of police, um, uh, what I don't want to say brutality, but using people of color as target practice. I think that is shameful to separate a child from their mother. It is horrific. It's horrific. There's nothing worse than that. So I am super grateful this year that that I have my child, but I'm praying for those parents that have been separated from their children at the border, that the Biden administration will be able to bring them together sooner rather than later. That, my prayer is that, if it could be possible that they could all be joined with their children by tomorrow. We got to see something last week on the Rachel Maddow show, where a young man who's 18 had been separated from his mother for 3 years because he was separated from her at the border. And so he got to reconnect with her a couple of days ago. Wow. And that really affected me, because it's like, oh my God, to have your child taken from you. When Alexia, and I'll say this, why it's such a big deal for me, because when Alexia was about 5 years old, and I was doing stand-up regularly, there were times when I would get a call from the Comedy Store to come in at the last minute. And the last minute might be 10:30. I'd get a call at 10:30 to do a spot at 11. And I, as a single mom, I couldn't find a babysitter at that time. So I would take her, put her in the car, and leave her in the car right by the store. There's a little parking lot right snugged into the Comedy Store, like in the back of the building, and the bodyguard, not the bodyguard, the bouncer is usually right there. So I told the bouncer I was leaving my child one night. I said, she's right in the car. I'm just going to go do my spot. 15 minutes, I'll be back. I had locked the car. She was fine. She was safe. But a comic who was hating on me decided to call Children's Services on me. Mm-hmm. So Children's Services came out like 2 days later. First, the cops called me asking where my child was. I was like, what? And I thought it was a prank. I was like, look, I don't have time for this. And I hung up. Well, about an hour later, the police showed up at my door. Wow. And then they were asking me questions, and I couldn't figure out what. I was like, what are you talking about? Later that evening, Children's Services came to my home. And had they not seen what they saw, which was me feeding my daughter and a neighbor's child, and that they were watching cartoons and life was good, they probably would have taken my child from me. And so they were able to make an anonymous complaint. I was not able to defend myself in any way. They kept a file on me for a whole year. Wow. And so even though my child was, and I was doing work with the Children's Services at that time, because I was going into Children's Services to do goal setting workshops with the kids that were in foster care. Mm-hmm. So I know the seriousness of having your child removed, or the threat of having your child removed. And as a mother, you never want to encounter that. You never want to go through that. So my prayer is that all these moms that are separated from their children, that they will be reunited ASAP.
Yeah. No, thank you. It's so true. It's like people just don't, when they don't live or attempt to understand other people's struggles, then they have no idea, and they make assumptions. They do what they would normally do in their own lives, but it doesn't apply to most people or other people. It's just, wow. Yeah.
Yeah. We have our opinions of people.
Yeah.
without knowing the facts, you know, the opinions that people are sending their children on chaperone to come to the United States, when those parents are really, they love their kids so much that they want a better life for them.
Right.
You know, and as messed up as America is to other countries, America is the land of opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and we take it for granted, but this is a great country, and we got to keep it great, and we got to make sure that the voting rights are not screwed up, and that we as Americans are not oppressed because of a few politicians who think they should have the power. That we as American citizens have to take back our country from the GOP or the Democrats or whoever, but just keep democracy in place, because this country means a lot to the world. My daughter doesn't want me getting into politics, but
no, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's just, you know.
Yeah, but anyway, Mother's Day is important, and I just want to say to everybody out there, love on your mother, appreciate her, and even if she could not do the best for you, she did the best that she knew how to do. And parenting does not come with a manual. Mm-hmm. You know, it should, because you have to have a manual in order to drive. You got to learn, but parenting doesn't come with that. You know, and you have to figure it out. And if you were not raised well, then you have to go on a mission to go, how do I want to raise my child so that my child could be a good citizen of the universe? Not an entitled child, not a selfish child, but a child of the universe who gives, contributes, mm-hmm. serves, and treats their neighbors well. That's the big thing. And unfortunately, we don't have a lot of people who take that into consideration because they got no common sense.
Yeah. Well, thank you for that. You know, this whole thing was to highlight, I think you two have such a beautiful relationship. And so I wanted to, you know, ask you guys these questions to show the world that, but you know, it's great to address all moms out there. So that was really beautiful.
Well, thank you so much for wanting to do this.
Yeah,
I love you.
I do have more questions if you guys want.
Oh, you have more? Okay.
Okay, cool. So these are like more fun ones.
Okay.
What song would you use to describe your mom?
She's a bad mama jamma.
That is my personal jam.
Such as fine as she could be.
Yeah, she's a question.
That is my personal theme song. I just want to say I'm so happy that you said that. That's amazing.
Okay, yeah, got it.
Fine, we can use that.
No. You answer the question.
You are a bad mama jamma, by the way.
Already, you know, I guess we'll go with that song.
No, go ahead. I'm going to hear you.
No, the next one. Fine, you go.
She's a bad mama jamma.
Carl Carlton, he really did it with that one.
That's a good song.
All right, and what song would you use to describe Lexie?
I would say I would use a Tina Turner. What's that Tina Turner song that that was the last song in her doc.
Oh, I don't know.
How's it go?
I'm trying to think right now. I have gone blank, but it is you are I'll have to get back to you on that.
Okay.
But that's her.
Cool.
It's a great Tina Turner song. It's is it from let me see may I see your phone?
Yeah. Is it a real popular one of hers?
Yeah, it's a popular one.
The best?
Yes. You're simply the best. Better than all the rest.
Oh, I love that.
Better than everyone. That's her.
You guys are so cute. You guys are so cute. Aw, that's a great song too.
I had a mind lapse for a second, but but that's the song.
We got it. Okay, Lexie, what's the most hilarious thing you've ever seen your mom do?
Most hilarious thing I've ever seen.
Let me go through my list.
I gotta think about that. You go first with what's the most hilarious thing I've done, and then that'll give me time to think about it.
The most hilarious thing you've done is your stand-up.
That's so nice. That's so nice. She's the most hilarious thing I've ever seen my mom do.
I like to dance in the supermarket.
She does. I've seen her dance at the when we've gotten the car fixed.
Okay.
You know, when they got music playing, I feel compelled to enjoy it.
I think
Good.
the funniest thing I've ever seen my mom. Two things are coming to my mind. One is we used to like to watch this show, like VH1 had, where like all these celebrities would be in a house and they had to live together in surreal life.
Oh my God.
And there was this episode where Charo had to go into a haunted house, and my mom was laughing so hard she was crying.
Oh
and
my
she was,
God.
like, kept laughing for about 30 minutes, and that made me
That was
laugh.
the best episode. Charo was like,
That sounds hilarious.
Charo was, she had lost it. Oh my God, oh, your meal, as it goes.
Oh my
It was so-
God.
it was
They were-
so
yeah, they
cute.
were
That was-
too.
Yeah,
So that was funny. And then I also was enjoying when she would come back from like her acting class and she would tell me things about what had happened that were funny, and she'd act it out for me. That was really funny.
Cool. Okay. Nice. And Lydia, you said, oh, her stand-up.
her stand-up.
Cool.
She's a wonderful stand-up.
She is.
I'm
She
so
is.
proud of her.
Aw. And okay, so if you could choose, if your mom could meet anyone, who would they choose? Who would she choose?
If she could meet anyone, is it a live person or could it be a dead person?
Either.
Because I feel like on her wish list would be some Korean actors, Fidel Castro.
Yes,
She has questions for him.
I was
and
very
then,
disappointed that I didn't get to meet him. I really wanted to.
And
Because
then
I had a lot of questions.
she had a lot of questions. And then Leonardo da Vinci.
Yes.
And then
The Obamas. I want to meet the Obamas.
She asked me.
Okay.
Now you.
Just thought I'd share.
And then also she would love to meet Javier Pedro Moldovar.
Oh yes. Well, I've met him, but I like to work with
yeah.
him. Yeah.
Cool. Okay.
Pedro Moldovar. Moldovar.
And Lydia, who would Lexie choose if she could meet anyone?
Well, number one would be Gilda
Radner.
Gilda Radner.
That's exactly what I was thinking. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be her number one. And then she has a list of some comics that she would like to meet, whose names I don't remember, but I know she wants to meet them. Who else?
I think like Gilda Radner is like,
Okay.
that's, I mean, Billy Wilder. But
Yeah,
like,
Billy Wilder. Yes.
Okay.
yeah.
Cool.
Yes.
All
Oh,
good
and
choices.
Judy Holiday. She loved Judy.
Oh yeah, I would love to meet
Neat.
Judy Holiday. Yeah.
That's cool.
So funny. I mean, yeah, she's dead, but yeah, I
Yeah.
do want to meet her.
Yeah.
I was, yeah, no, not you know,
Not now.
Not-
not today.
Her ghost
Yeah,
just
yeah.
pops in.
I'd be screaming. I'd be like, oh my god. not a great movie to be in.
Oh my god. Yeah, maybe another time.
Yeah.
That's right.
Okay. If you could take your mom anywhere in the world on a trip, where would you go and why?
Oh, we just talked about this yesterday. I literally was pumping her for info, like just aside, not like for this, but just for the Turks and Caicos. Apparently,
Ooh.
I thought it was gonna be Cuba, but that's her number one first, and then Cuba, and then a bunch of other stuff.
Korea.
Yeah.
South Korea, of course, not North Korea, but South Korea. Yes.
Okay. Cool. And if you could take Lexie on a trip anywhere in the world, where would you go and why?
Well, I think I'd take her first back to London because she loves London.
Cool.
And probably do a 6-month visit there. Because
Nice.
she really likes London. Yeah.
Yeah.
London sounds very cool.
The
How long
theater
were you
there,
there
like the
for?
art is very cool. They've got like they have like record stores still there. Like it's like really like you can get CDs and stuff. It's just, and like people really, even like small shows, like small theater shows are like packed. Like
That's
everyone just is like really into art there. It's
A lot
really
of
good.
culture. Yeah, that seems cool. How long were you there before? It was a semester.
6 months.
Cool. Okay.
Because I was interning at the BBC, and I got to take a lot of classes at the BBC.
Nice.
And see a lot of theater.
And see a lot of theater.
And
That's
travel.
cool. That was through the New York school you went to, NYU, right?
Yeah. So
Okay.
the program that I did, it doesn't exist anymore. It's a long story, but essentially it's because we were doing internships at the BBC, and BBC is paid through like it's tax money, like London tax money. So British tax money. So then they were like, oh, why are we having these American? So they don't do the program anymore.
Oh,
But it's fun to be there while it happened.
darn. Okay, well that's good. You got it at least.
Yeah, they do a great program too with RADA, where it's like you can go and like if you're an American student in college, you can go and study at like the Royal Academy of Dramatic Arts, and that's like one of the best schools for acting in the world, but in London as well.
And Lambda.
Yeah. But
Lambda's
this
good.
program
Yeah.
is like through NYU is specifically for RADA.
Lambda's good.
Nice.
In London. Lambda is in London.
Yeah.
Okay.
The
Very
London Academy of Dramatic Arts, I think.
Yeah. And then Nita is good too in Australia.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, indeed. All right.
Let's see. Let's do like one or two more.
All right.
Oh, if you could go back 10 years and give your mom a piece of advice, what would it be?
Stop letting people stay in our place.
Oh, I was gonna say, go get oh my God, what was it? A Bitcoin.
Oh.
Go get Bitcoin.
Smart.
Or go, yeah, that would be, or I was gonna say something, but I won't. I won't because I don't want to get in trouble. But I will say.
You can tell it to me privately.
Yeah, I can tell it to you privately. Yeah, exactly. But I would just say I guess I would say to her 10 years ago, what would I say? Yeah, I guess I would say, yeah, and also like put more stuff on YouTube. That's what I would say.
Okay. Smart. And Lydia, what advice would you give Lexie 10 years ago?
I gave it to her.
I guess so.
I always gave her I think I've been very good as a parent to give her the best information I could at the time. That I will say that God equipped me with presence. Like when she was growing up, I wasn't concerned with, in 10 years she's going to be gone. I was like, okay, today, what does she need today? How do we get what she needs today? So my focus was always present, and then looking towards, okay, what do we want to get her
You should have told me to buy Bitcoin.
No, I'm still not a Bitcoiner person.
Should check it out. Good stuff.
Yeah, I don't have anything I would have told her, because I think I've been very good in being consistent with giving her good information, or at least the best that I know how to give.
Cool. Okay.
Yeah. So in that regards, I have no regrets. Now, what I would tell myself would be a different.
That's not the question. That's not the question.
I would say,
not the question.
don't take it seriously. Everything's gonna be okay. Just stay focused. That's what I would have told myself 10 years ago. It's all good. Just stay focused. It's not that serious. That's what I would have said to me.
Good. Yeah. I can relate to that.
Yeah, because sometimes the moment that we're in at the moment seems like the
life and death, and we make everything more serious than it is.
But if we can breathe, if we can just literally breathe and just know this is just a moment, and let me focus on my future and what's coming, as opposed to get stuck in those little things that are not important, like somebody, you're more concerned with how someone looked at you than what you were doing.
Oh, let's never ask the last question, because we're almost at the 40
minutes. Oh, okay. We got to get ready to go. Okay. All right.
What is your mom's signature dance move?
I guess that's
Hey, yeah.
That's
it. Ooh, shake your booty. Shake your booty.
I think we need to put She's a Bad Mama Jamma on after this.
She's a Bad Mama Jamma.
And what's Lexie's signature dance move?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I don't know.
Okay, do your dance. Do your dance. Let's see.
I think it's like
do your dance. Do your dance. Go ahead.
I think my signature dance move is like maybe like I don't know. I've been really into the TikTok, running that thing. I don't know.
The hand movement type things.
What's your signature dance move? Oh, there you go.
I think I'm more of like a just hands in the air type person.
Okay.
I do this a lot. Little shoulder action.
Okay.
Depends on where I am.
That's good. Shake it.
We have a minute left. So do you really want to tell? Do you want to tell everybody Happy Mother's Day?
Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day to your mom, Dominique.
Your
mom did great with you. Happy Mommy's Day. Mrs. Stango. Happy Mama's Day, every woman out there with children. Yes. We love you. God bless you.
And even if you don't have a mom, we love you too.
Well, you did have a mom at some point.
But you know what I mean.
And for those of you who don't have your mom with you, pick a woman that can role model for you as a good mom.
And even if your mom wasn't supportive, we send you love.
Yes. We are loving on you right now.
Exactly.
Thank you, Dominique.
Thank you, Dominique.
All right, bye.
Bye. Happy Mother's Day.
I'm Lydia Nicole. I am the Common Sense Mamita, and